Welcome, everybody. Okay, everybody welcome.
Fran is here. Dory's here from Florida. She says hi from Florida. So you can start.
Okay. Should I begin? Okay. It's going to be a lot of exciting things I want to talk about. And I want to begin with the first one, that I woke up in the middle of the night, not yesterday, but the Sunday before, and I was itching all over my back and my neck, the back of the neck, and the back of my body and my arms. And I thought, there must be a few mosquitoes that beat me. But it didn't feel like mosquito bites, because it would have taken an army of mosquitoes to produce that much. So I couldn't sleep during that night. And when Kenny came in the morning to take me, I said, Kenny, I don't know what's wrong with me, but it must be some kind of a disease. And I already imagined another mosquito attack, another virus. And Kenny checked, because it was Sunday and doctors would not be open, but he found a dermatologist who was open. So we jumped into the car, and on the way to Oceanside to see the dermatologist, Kenny called again just to make sure, are you sure you're open? Yes, we're open, was the answer. And then we're driving along, and he said, let me find out when we can see the doctor. Maybe we don't have to hurry so fast. So he called the number again and said, what are the best hours for seeing the doctor? And the answer was, there's nobody here. No doctor. It's Sunday. And he said, but then why are we coming? She says, because we're open. And we suddenly realized the world changed. And this is for all of you seniors, because young people already know that you have to ask questions. There are no answers. They're used to texting one question, never two, because there are never two answers. And I'm saying this for all you people who were growing up when people answered the phone and somebody would say, how are you? And because of that, I would like to begin by showing you Lucy Callis. Kenny, I have the picture of Galashov's right there. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is the past. And let me acquaint young people with the past like this. When I painted Galashov's, not only did I love their food, but I was able to paint another painting from the dining room table in their restaurant. Nobody charged me anything. I got free coffee. That's the way the world was. And as for Lucy, I can wait. She is the world that used to be, when people came and got a basket of bread with their cup of coffee, because it was a very poor area. So she would sit by her window at night until the lights went on at Galashov's. And then she would put some clothes on and go down and order just either a bowl of soup or a cup of coffee. And Lucy would bring a big basket of bread, wonderful bread. And then before the woman would leave. The woman would sit there all morning practically because it was warm. But that's the way the world was. And Lucy would say, take all the bread home. I'll give you a bag. And then she would turn to me and say, it's probably her only food for the day. I cannot go back to that world, and neither can you. So let me go to a different topic, and I'm going to take 10 minutes for painting, okay? Maybe 15. But what I want to say is...
And before you do, if I could just say that Beth Ruland is watching. Paula Lakshan is watching.
Wait, speak louder.
Oh, Beth Ruland is watching. Paula Lakshan is watching. Lee Winters is watching and says hello from Lee and Cheryl. Carol is watching. Kent is watching from Sweden, says hi, Eddie. Paula says hi, everybody, we love you. Carol Hotkin is sending a heart. John Taracuso says hi, Eddie, hi, Ken. Hugs from California.
Do you realize the miracle? Well, first of all, for us, the miracle of Eyewitness News last week, for which I have to thank my wonderful Eileen who arranged it, and for which I have to thank the people, all the people, especially Tony, did the photography of Eyewitness News. Would you believe somebody called me from London? No, not London. From Italy. From Italy. Because they had watched Eyewitness News. And I thought, how? Thousands of miles away. And they photographed the people who came from Sweden. And the world has become accessible, which makes me come to another part of what I need to say. None of us, especially older people like me, realize that the whole world is accessible, free of charge. I can't go there physically, but I can call California and it won't cost me a penny. In my days, in the old days, you needed an operator and you paid and you called after hours when it cost a little bit less. So this is a miracle. But what I do want to speak about is I learned through all these people whom I painted, there's a deep loneliness of not belonging. Somehow, when we're born, there are no understandings of what we have become, what it means to be a baby, what it means to go to kindergarten, what it means to be, instead of home, to be exposed to the cruelty of children. Children are cruel. We all bear scars of what they said to us because they didn't understand. Different scars for different people. And I would like to speak more about that at another time because each of us is unique. There is nobody like you and me in the whole history of our lives. We're all made up of bits and pieces, of billions of atoms from caveman times, from forefathers. Okay, let me paint. And can you remember, for comments, you can speak at any time.
Sure. William Milan is watching, and he says, "Bless you, Eddie."
Wait, say the name again.
William Milan.
Oh, Willie
Mhm.
and John Santana. I painted Joan Santana before I knew that many years later, when I showed the painting he's in, I would hear from him, and he would say, "I'm the person standing right there." Okay. Kenny, do you want to move differently so you can see the work?
Of course.
Because we have 13 minutes. Okay. I unearthed this. I found it among my paints. This is the towel I use in order to look very good and neat when I worked in the street. When I paint here, I use this for my lap. But when I'm on the street, I have to look very presentable. The day when I could paint in the street has gone. This canvas is too big. In the future, if I do paint after this painting, it'll be this size, so that I can carry it in one hand. Okay. Because this is so difficult to paint with. Okay.
You're amazing.
Kenny, is the light okay?
The light's great.
Great. These two people put me, well, Pat said, "Hetty, why don't you go on Facebook?" And I said, no. There would be too many people, and I wouldn't know them, and it's no fun if you don't know the people. But she was right, and I was wrong, and I love Facebook. Let me tell you about this spot over here. Now I'm beginning to really enjoy life with this, because I have no idea what that truck looked like here. So today, I didn't know how the lights would be. I didn't know. And since I need to be precise and exact, what I did, I'm going to take a blanket and put it there, and I'm going to use Amanda bananas and write that on there, on that blanket, because I needed color here, because the front of the truck was too big and wasn't good. So let me show you what I'm doing now. This was one of the young men who, when I fell and hurt myself, broke the right leg, broke the right shoulder. He did therapy with me, and I'll finish him eventually. But right now, let me go here. This is Neela Jacobson. I needed something on here because everything had so many people, and this was so boring. And I needed somebody who I know would sit on a truck, and Neela would. Right? This is from Blix, where I buy my art supplies. I can order anything through her, and she sends me the right things, the right brushes. So I told her to send me a picture. I want her in the painting. But she sent me one from Disneyland. And I didn't put the ears on her. In the picture, she's wearing the ears. I'm going to call her and ask if I should put them in. Okay? So now, let me begin. I want to, Kenny,
yes.
I can do anything I want to because I have to. Main thing is to make a glorious painting. And if I lie a little bit, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I put something which wasn't there, I forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing is to make the painting beautiful. Okay, so this dog, this wonderful dog from Nantucket, is so glorious, but she doesn't look like a dog. So, because whenever I did those legs, you see, the legs have puffs on them, tons of puffs, all 4 legs, and it looked like a mistake. So I am going to put her on a blanket. Her face I can allow because it can be afforded to be beautiful. But I'm thinking I carried this gold on the girl's jacket. It was black, but I had too much black. So let me do a little more of this first. You see, now my time is different. Now I've got the people in, even if they're not finished. But my job now is to put things so that they belong, to make the painting beautiful. And she has coal black hair, which when this is dry, I can flood over. And you'll see that next week, because it's going to be too wet to work on it now. But you see, my decision is this. Do I put a blanket? You see how beautiful this dog is? How smooth this is? Do I give her pants, or do I... First I had put a blanket there over the dog. Not over the dog, just over some of the hair. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let that be her clothing. Watch. Okay, that feels good. And I would like to carry a little bit of black there, which could be her pants. By the way, here she is. And she's a lovely girl. And she's wearing black pants, which I can definitely use here. And I'm going over the blanket which I had over the dog so that the hair would look normal. And I'm going to take let's see, I'll take this like this. That's what I'll do. And then, what do I do about her legs? I think her legs, I can think about it, but I don't have to do that now. It'll come to me. I'm going to work on the ground, and then, see, I'm in the lucky part of the painting, where I know where things are going to be, and therefore I can play. Yep. Okay, now we're getting there. And then skin color. It's called Caucasian skin color. And it's wonderful for trees and for the ground. The longer you get old, your skin begins to look more like the ground. I know. See how many colors I'm allowed to do with oil until I found out which bleeds in the best way.
Let me tell you that Lorraine Brent is watching, and Carmen Martinez Milan is watching, and Kathy Lahan Cawthorn says, "Don't forget, Hetty, I will take you to meet Tuscany soon. She's going to love you. She's huge, but a sweet horse."
Here's Tuscany.
And Kinha says, "Hi, Hetty, love hearing your voice."
Kinha, the last letter that you sent me. Kinha, you're a born writer. I think, Kenny, I sent it to you, right? Yes. I sent it to you and to John and to Dory.
It was beautiful.
Because Kinha writes about her life, her daily life, but it's done so well.
And Robin Lisa is watching.
Do you see how much playing time I now have? Because the composition is done, more or less. But this area, yes, is the composition works. And these are the owners of the dog. And when this is made into a print, there'll be a chart giving the names of everybody. I would like to talk a little about Eyewitness News, because when they came on the 26th, and the young man who did the photography, he knew, I didn't, that the whole world would be able to see it. It's got to me when somebody called me from Rome, and that now when I walk on the street, people will stop me and say, "I saw you." on Eyewitness News. And it is hard for me to realize that we have access to the whole world. Now, you see, I need to let this area be very light or very dark. And until I do this area, I won't know. Because when you work like I do, that you work one bit at a time. See, these are the daughter and the son of Kent. And this is Eileen, who brought them all here. Mm-hmm. And this is Harvey Riesenberg and his son and his wife. And everybody's real. And when people don't believe me, I can tell them the story of how I know them. Not who they are, because we are different for every human being. Everybody gives us a specific part of themselves. And so, what I know of these people and of you is what nobody else knows. We give different parts of ourselves to everybody. Look what I'm going to do. Are you aware with the camera how I keep testing things and not knowing until it's there? Right? There is no knowing. It tells you. And I know which brush, and they're all so tiny. I need a bushy one. There it is. Okay. Let me put accents on this beautiful dog's ears. The only thing I don't know, if you can see the little bits of difference that happen as I do that, because...
Let me come in to see it, and just to let you know, it's 7:30.
The what, Daddy?
It's 7:30.
See, I'm trying.
Marcia says, it is so relaxing watching you paint. What a joy.
I'm glad you used that word because now is the relaxing time. And that's because I decided that now I can have fun. I must say goodbye. I love you all, and I shall see you next Monday.